Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? It's true, that's why I made the website, colinmullen.com. So hey everybody, before we get into today's thing, I want to talk about this painting that I did, and then we'll get into it. So this painting starts off because I saw this really cool video of this guy, and he was using like little round sponges that had paint on them, and he was throwing them at his canvas, and then from there he like connected dots and he did a really cool painting with it. And I'm like, that seems like a cool method of just like getting me to just like put paint on a canvas. And then I realized I don't have that kind of, sponge stuff, so I just was like, okay, I'll just flick paint from my brush onto the canvas and then try and do it that way. And then what ended up happening is it looked like crap, so I ended up painting over that and doing something else entirely. But at least it got me started putting paint on canvas, so I mean, mission successful, I guess. If you watch my Minecraft streams, you'll probably recognize this as the thing that I did like a thumbnail sketch of in Minecraft using that weird pixel art mod. Anyway, let's talk about today's thing, but also let's talk about yesterday's video. So a few days ago, I put out this thing on Twitter just saying, hey, a lot of people are concerned about the fate of Twitter, because let's just generally say that people are concerned about the direction that the platform's going and are trying to take steps to make sure that it'll be fine. Whether or not the site actually goes under or not, I honestly don't believe that we'll ever be in a situation where Twitter will be completely gone. I think it'll be a Mindspace sort of situation where it'll still exist, but just no one will really use it, and it's kind of weird that it still exists when you think about it. I think it's going to be like that, but that's not a great website for artists to be on. And so I was like, okay, so I'll make a Twitter thread and just have that as a way that people can, show off their work, and then I'll make a video around it. And then I made the video on it, and I'm going to go ahead and link that here, so that way you guys can go ahead and check that out and maybe see if there's someone you'd like to commission or just someone you'd like to follow. Speaking of, if you guys are in that video, make sure you have ways to contact you or ways to follow you. Don't say like, oh, I'm gonna create a Tumblr and I'll link it to you guys when I do. Go ahead and just make it now, even if it's got no content, it's got none of the stuff set up right. Just link it and have a post that says like, we'll be adding stuff soon. That's a lot better, because right now is when people are like concerned or looking out after their artist friends, and they want to know where you're going. There were a lot of different recommendations on different platforms that people were going to, just based on what people were saying in the thing. Right now, it's kind of hard to determine where that next place is going to be. But instead of trying to figure that out in this video, because I don't know the answer to that, there's a lot of good answers. Like, I think TikTok is good if you're going to be making videos, because it is like the most popular app for like kids, basically like teenagers, that age range, and so there's a lot of like eyes on it right now. I know Instagram is popular with a lot of people. It is a very straightforward for artists because it is a media sharing thing. It has basically no way of posting from PC. It's very much a mobile experience, which makes it kind of awkward to use on PC. And it is also owned by Meta, formerly Facebook, and they seem to be doing some weird stuff that just makes the app weirder and weirder. Like they're trying to become TikTok, which, I mean, if you're not trying to make videos, that makes it a very bizarre premise. There's Facebook, which I can't think of very many positive things to say about. There's MySpace, which, same. There's Tumblr, and I don't know as if Tumblr is going to come back in any sort of form, but suffice to say, there's a lot of websites, and I kind of talk about that a little bit in the last video. But I think one thing that we should be talking about is some stuff that you should be doing as an artist when you have presence online. Let's say you're making up a new account. There's a reason that a lot of people are right now. So first off, what needs to be done is you need to have some very basic stuff in place. You should post as often as is reasonable for you to post. You should probably not muddy it with other content. And you should have ways for people to contact you, especially if you're doing commissions. Pretty much only if you're doing commissions. And you should have a commission sheet. So we're going to talk about each of those things in a little bit of detail. Posting often is pretty hard. We live in a age where the lifespan of any given piece of media is very, very short. Even comparing the lifespan of like memes from when I was a teenager to now, a meme will last maybe a month, maybe a week or two nowadays. But when I was younger, you could see a meme last for like years, multiple years being like the meme that you talk about. And that makes me sound very old, and it's because I am. But more importantly is just the attention span of people on the internet has gotten to a very fast pace, and so you're expected to post a lot. Don't do that. It is not reasonable. To be real, I should be probably posting a video on YouTube. The standard practice for YouTubers is to post at least one video every day. This channel posts one video every other week because that is what I can reasonably put out amongst all of the other work that I have to do. So when I say you should post your art as often as possible and try and be consistent with it, that's the level I'm talking about. You know, I'm doing a lot of other stuff, and I'm sure you are too. You probably don't have all the time in the world. Don't make excuses, you know, put the effort in, but also be fair to yourself. This is a very, it's a knife's edge that you got to balance on as far as where that is. As far as not muddying it with other content, what I'm trying to say is that when people see an account and they start following it, they follow it for probably the first couple of posts that they see. And so if they see you posting a lot of like cat pictures, for example, they're going to be expecting you to be a cat reblogger or whatever. That's your thing. And then you post random art every now and then. They're going to be like, okay, so this is a person who posts cats, but occasionally posts art, which is essentially what my Tumblr has become. So I guess do as I say, not as I do. There is something to be said, however, about just keeping content going, that having interactions on a fairly regular basis, being able to have new stuff so that way people remember that you exist, and having other stuff just being like works in progress. As of the last few centuries, the idea of what an artist should do has changed from someone who draws Jesus a whole bunch to someone who has a personality that you are invested in beyond just their art, that has become more and more of a thing as social media has come into play. So people like to see who you are as a person as well, but try and keep it professional. Try and keep this professional. Try and make sure that they feel like they're following someone who has like a theme to their posts, their content. They don't want to be like, okay, I'm following them for cats, but then sometimes they post like other stuff that has nothing, like, why I want art, but what is all this other crap, and where are my cats? You know, people will get confused fairly easily, and if they follow you for one thing, if they follow you to try and get one kind of content and then you don't ever do that kind of content again, they're gonna leave. So that's not really a follower gained in that way. You've just sort of like confused one person for a little bit. So, consistency in what you're using your platform for is a huge thing and really lets people know what kind of content. For example, this is an art channel. I talk about art here. People expect me to talk about art, and when things about art happen, I talk about them here. And if that's the kind of content that you like, you can subscribe, and then you'll be fairly certain to find more of that in the future, right? That's the way all of your social media should be, that there should be some sort of theme to it, that they understand that anyone who just like clicks on it for the first time is going to understand what the point of you posting here is. And some of that is the personality. Obviously, you guys are listening to me for about 9 minutes now talk about my opinion on how to do these things. This is not factual. This is things that I've learned based on my experience. So there's a bit of that connection as well. So I guess what I'm saying is personality is important, but consistency in how your social media is supposed to work is also important. There's a lot of contradictory information that I'm giving in this video, but it is actually the same information. Somehow both sides of this weird contradiction are correct at the same time. Just good luck with that. And lastly, if you're gonna do commissions, have a commission sheet. There's plenty of great examples in that video I just posted of the kind of stuff that, you know, you're willing to do, how much it will cost, and then how to contact them and how the payment will be done. That's the basic information that everyone wants to know. If you walk into a store, you're going to want to know, how much is this thing? How do I buy it? Where do I go to buy it? Like, where's the desk that I hand you the object that I'm buying here? People want to have a very like straightforward understanding of how like the transaction's going to work and what you're capable of. If you want to get certain kinds of commissions, the stuff that you show in your commission portfolio should be consistent. That's what people are expecting you to do. If you draw a whole bunch of furry stuff, you're going to get a bunch of furries trying to get you to do commissions for them. If you draw a bunch of furry stuff, you're not going to get a whole bunch of people asking for photorealism or whatever. If you draw a bunch of photorealism stuff, you probably shouldn't expect to get any furries coming by your door. For examples, people are going to use the examples that you show as reference to what you do and the quality that you do it at. So show recent work, update your commission sheet, maybe like, you know, at least every few months, every year in the very least. People want to know what you've been doing recently. Stuff that you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago is not relevant to the kind of stuff that you've been doing recently. You know, assuming that you're keeping up a fairly regular practice of doing art, your art style as well as your skills have improved, and showing something that's really old, even if you like it more than what you've been doing recently, is not representative of who you are now, and is not really like good to show people because they're going to get confused about what they're going to get. So have a easy to understand pricing, have a way to contact you so that way they can, you know, do that when they want the commissions done. Be clear about your expectations and what you expect of them and what they should expect of you, like the turnaround time, as well as like stuff that you are and are not willing to do. And that should do the trick. Now, that being said, huge question for tonight, for today's video, I should say, is where are you going? Like, assuming that Twitter is going away, which I still say you should be continuing to post on Twitter until it is completely burned to the ground or no one cares about it at all, still gets fairly good engagement on a regular basis right now. So you should still keep posting there if you're already posting there. It's still a website that people use, though people are jumping ship en masse. So where are you going next? For me, I don't know. I don't use it as my primary platform. I use mostly twitch.tv/RevScarecrow, my YouTube channels, that kind of thing for a majority of where I post my content. But that Twitter is where I let people know that I'm going live or that a new video is out, because both Twitch and YouTube are really bad about informing people of when those things happen. So where are you going and why? Let's get a conversation going so that way we can find some good websites that we can go to. I want to find something that like your average Joe Schmo goes to that has like image sharing capability, because if it's just for artists, I don't know how much good that's going to do. Hot take. I want like some random person who does not do art to be able to see my work and go, yeah, I should get some of that, you know, because I don't have art in my house. I want some of that. I don't know. Things to think about. But let me thank the people on patreon.com/RevScarecrow who are making these kind of videos happen and allow me to have a more consistent lifestyle. Thank you guys so much for that. Starting with my mom and dad. Thank you guys. I love you. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Vox. Thank you, Top Houndor. Thank you, Tom K. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Terry Maverick. Thank you, Snoutpunk. Thank you, Skelecorgi. Thank you, Retrograde. Thank you, Mortis Nodus. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Maliciousness. Thank you, May. Thank you, Lost Nevada. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Gala. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, Chiptune Glitch. Thank you, Bubba Fair. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Bep. Thank you, BD648. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Acribus. And thank you, Ants. My wife is asleep in the other room, and I'd rather not scream first thing in the morning. Hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Where are you guys going next with your art? Where are you going to be posting it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.